I present to you a love story between a muscular, big white cat and a big, long-haired white cat. Our story begins like this. In the heart of New York City lived a handsome white cat by the name of Han. He was known for his incredible muscular body, his piercing green eyes, and his kind heart. Han worked as a personal trainer at the local gym, helping others to achieve their fitness goals and always pushing them to be their best. Despite his tough exterior, he had a soft spot for animals, especially cats. He dreamed of one day having a family of his own, but for now, he was content with helping out at the local animal shelter, walking dogs, and spending time with the cats. One day, while walking through the park, he saw a group of kids tormenting a small kitten. Without hesitation, he jumped into action, scaring the kids away and rescuing the kitten. Back at his apartment, he cleaned up the scared and dirty kitten and found a home for him. But little did he know that this act of kindness would change his life forever. As days turned into weeks, Han couldn't help but think about the kitten. He named him Leo and often wondered how he was doing. One day, he decided to pay the family a visit. When he knocked on the door, it was opened by a beautiful woman with long flowing white hair. She was stunning, and Han couldn't take his eyes off her. "Can I help you?" she asked with a confused look on her face. Hi!" Han stammered, suddenly feeling awkward. I just wanted to check in on Leo. How is he doing?" The woman smiled and said, "Oh, he's doing great. Come on in." As Han stepped inside, he couldn't believe his eyes. There was Leo playing with a ball of yarn, looking happy and healthy. But what truly caught his attention was the woman's two other cats, Lina and Lily. They were both big, long-haired beauties with striking green eyes. Han couldn't help but stare at them as they gracefully moved around the apartment. After spending some time playing with Leo, Han said goodbye to the family and headed back to his own apartment. But he couldn't shake the feeling that he had just met someone special. In the coming weeks, Han found himself visiting the family often, spending hours playing with the cats, and getting to know the beautiful woman named Lisa. He was completely smitten with her and couldn't wait to tell her how he felt. But he was also worried. What if she didn't feel the same way about him? What if she only saw him as a friend? These thoughts raced through his mind as he prepared to confess his love for her. One day, while walking through the park with Lisa and her three cats, Han finally worked up the courage to tell her how he felt. He stopped in a secluded area of the park and turned to her, his heart pounding in his chest. "Lisa," he began, his voice shaking slightly. "I need to tell you something. I've fallen in love with you." Lisa's eyes widened in surprise, but before she could respond, a loud meow interrupted them. It was Lina, who had wandered off and was now staring at them curiously. Han and Lisa both jumped, startled by Lina's sudden appearance. And in that moment, Han knew he had been too forward. He felt embarrassed and ashamed of himself for putting Lisa in an uncomfortable situation. With a heavy heart, he apologized, and they all went back home. As the days passed, Han couldn't help but dwell on his confession. He was unsure of how Lisa felt about him, and it was eating away at him. He tried to focus on his work and the cats, but his mind kept wandering back to Lisa. He missed her and longed for the day when he could tell her how he really felt. Meanwhile, Lisa couldn't shake the memory of Han's confession. She had developed strong feelings for him as well, but she was afraid of ruining their friendship. She knew that if she rejected him, things would never be the same again. So, she decided to take things slowly and see where they would lead. One evening, while Han and Lisa were spending time together at her apartment, Han decided to take another chance. He'd come up with a plan to confess his love to her in a way that would hopefully sweep her off her paws. He had prepared a romantic dinner and had even bought a bouquet of her favorite flowers. As the night wore on, Han finally worked up the courage to tell her how he felt. He poured his heart out to her, telling her everything he loved about her and how he couldn't imagine his life without her. To his surprise, Lisa reciprocated his feelings. She admitted that she had developed strong feelings for him as well, and the two soon found themselves in a loving embrace. Overjoyed by the turn of events, Han couldn't wait to share the good news with his friends. He called up his buddy Stretch, a portly Persian cat known for his sarcastic wit and laid-back attitude, and told him about his newfound romance. Stretch was thrilled for him and couldn't resist teasing him a little bit. "Took you long enough," he said with a chuckle. "I knew you two were gonna end up together." Han laughed and agreed. He couldn't believe how lucky he was to have found love with Lisa. As weeks turned into months, Han and Lisa's love for each other grew stronger. They enjoyed going on long walks together, trying out new restaurants, and simply spending time with each other. Their 3 cats, Leo, Lina, and Lily, became a part of their daily routine, and they often joked about starting a cat cafe together. But amidst all the joy and excitement, Han couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. He loved Lisa with all his heart, but he couldn't help but wonder if there was something else out there for him. One day while walking through the park, Han and Lisa came across a group of cats huddled together. They looked scared and hungry, and Han's heart went out to them. Without hesitation, he scooped them up and brought them home. He knew Lisa would understand. When he told her why he brought the cats home, she didn't even hesitate. She immediately started feeding them and making them comfortable. "We can't keep them here forever, Han," she said gently. "We need to find them homes." And so they placed an ad in the local newspaper, hoping to find loving families for the cats. As the days went by, Han and Lisa watched as each cat found their forever homes. But there was one cat who didn't seem to get adopted. It was a shy and timid cat with a white coat and emerald green eyes. Despite its beauty, no one seemed to want to adopt her. Han and Lisa looked at each other and knew what they had to do. They would keep her. They named her Luna and welcomed her into their family. As the years passed, Han and Lisa's love for each other grew stronger. They had a wonderful life together, filled with love, laughter, and, of course, their 3 cats. They often looked back at the day they first met and couldn't help but feel grateful for everything that had brought them together. And so, the love story between a muscular big white cat and a big long-haired white cat continued, reminding everyone who heard it that love can be found in the most unexpected places. The end. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe!